All right, hi. So my audio broke. Apparently, it didn't record anything. So, um, editor me is going to be voicing over, so you guys didn't miss anything. This was a pretty good run, so I don't want to let it go to waste. Just because the audio didn't record or anything. So I'll just kind of walk you through what's going on. So here I'm basically just explaining what the world is going to be like. I'm booting in. I get kind of an interesting spawn here. I get lucky here with some cows, but I actually don't need the food. Food is going to kind of be a struggle for the whole run. I'm pretty low on it most of the time. Here I spot a shipwreck, which is very lucky. Kind of get some early resources like maybe some iron or like a diamond or something like that. I see some Nautilus. This was on the newest version. I hadn't played that before. So you'll see it's just some kind of unfamiliar stuff to me just because I haven't really played. I get really lucky with the shipwreck loot here. Kind of just like a full chest of some useful stuff, like some lapis and iron and stuff. I almost ran out of breath here, which is scary, but I do manage to peek out and keep the run alive. This isn't hardcore, so if you die once, it's game over. Just kind of sorting out my inventory, getting ready. Right now I'm looking for a village. Villages can have some useful resources like food and stuff like that. So here I'm just kind of moving, keeping my eyes open, looking for a village or like a lava pool maybe. Some other kind of structure where I can get some more loot and get ready for the nether. Here I see a bamboo forest. These are useful because if you're a panda, you can eat these. I wasn't sure if I got the panda seed yet, so I was grabbing it just in case, as well as they can be used for fuel, so in case I find some other food I need to cook. Food is really important in Minecraft speedruns because you gotta... Here I spot some lava. It's not the kind of lava I need. It's just one, so it's not like a pool or anything like that. I do manage to find a village. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a blacksmith, which is not ideal, but whatever, it'll do. I look out and see if there's a different village, but I ultimately just decide just stick with the one I have. I do try looking in the barn structure for any food, but this appears to be pretty empty. Might have just been unlucky with the new world gen. I also check out the pyramid structure, but it looks like a dungeon, and I don't think I'm really equipped to do it, so I just head out. Now here I run past some food, which looks like a mistake, but it actually turns out okay because I spot some food later. Here I get pretty lucky with the cat table. Take some damage here and need to eat. Moderating your health and keeping it up is good. Here I spot the trader NPC. I think this was actually the last update, not the new one, but it is still pretty recent, and I haven't really played it too much. I don't have enough resources to trade with him, so I kind of start looking through the rest of the village, see if I can find anything else I need. I do get pretty lucky and manage to find some end crystals. Those are useful for spawning the dragon, so you'll need those before you can fully beat the game. I look around throughout the storage a little more, but nothing really piques my interest. But I do manage to find a ghast tier to make the last end crystal I need. You need 4 end crystals to spawn the dragon before you beat the game, so getting those is really important. And I head into the nether. It's PB for me. Now, the start of the nether is unfortunate because you kind of got to look out for a lot of stuff. You're looking for a bastion and you're looking for a fortress. Bastion is to get gold and so you can get ender pearls, and the fortress is so you can get blaze powder. You need those to get the Eye of Ender so you can go to the end. Thanks to the elytra I found in the early starter chest, I am able to kind of move through the nether pretty quickly. I don't have to build any cannons or stuff like that. I do see this ghast and kill it just for its drops, but they do fall on the wall, so that's pretty unfortunate RNG on my part. The bashing can be pretty scary because there's piglin brutes around, so I make sure to have my chest plate on just because if one hits me, it's going to be a lot of damage. The bastion chests don't really have anything of use, so I head out pretty quickly. Here, I spot out of the corner of my eye another nether portal. These natural stuff can be pretty useful for traveling a lot of distance pretty quickly, especially, if you don't have an elytra or something like that. I do, so I check it out. I do get pretty lucky. It does generate into Stronghold, and the portal is full. It's like a 12-eye. This is pretty rare for me, so I think I dropped this seed. Yeah, if you guys want to use that for your own world, might be pretty good. Now, this contraption is a little spooky to me, so I kind of want to be careful around it. The end contraptions and all the structures in the end can be pretty scary. This isn't modded, this is just a new update, so if something looks unfamiliar to me, it's just because I haven't really played the new update too much. I placed the 4 end crystals around the fountain to spawn the dragon. It's a pretty long cutscene, but it starts up quickly enough. After it spawns all the end crystals, it fully spawns a dragon. I'm a little nervous. The nerves are high, especially for, you know, like a run like this. I don't want to tower up, so I use my trident I got from the starter chest to destroy these crystals. The end crystals are explosive, so if you try to deal with them too up close, then they do a lot of damage. Pretty good snipe there. Missed this a couple times before I see the dragon perch it, but I missed it, so I gotta kind of regroup. I almost lost the run to that, but I managed to stay cool, calm, and collected. Now here, I got all the crystals down, so the next thing to do is to wait for the dragon to perch, which I do get pretty quickly. I'm not able to capitalize on it quickly enough, though. I'm on my wrong sword, so my attacks don't do nearly as much damage as they could be doing. I'm aiming for the head just because it'll do more damage. I think I'm clicking a little quick there. I realize my sword. When I see the dragon perch again, I go up and get ready for a different tactic. This should do more damage than the sword, but I actually missed the second hit. I try to come in with the sword, but I only get a couple hits. Attacked by an Enderman here. This was the closest I get to losing the run, but I managed to switch in time, and I go for the other strategy again. I do, in fact, manage to hit it, but just barely not enough. I try to go in with the sword, but this is a really risky strategy, so I get kind of scared and back off. Thankfully, I see the dragon perching once again, so I get ready for the final hit, and that is time. I fly over to the end fountain, and this run came in at just about 17 minutes, so pretty good for me. You can see my pop off there. I get pretty excited. I might do more Minecraft content in the future if this gets pretty popular. Maybe like start a Let's Play or something, and like start like a hardcore world that you guys can kind of tune in and follow along. Because I understand, you know, something like this is really interesting because I mean, there's nothing in the world, so you're kind of just looking at natural generation. Yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a dislike. Hashtag hardcore.